What's up, everybody? And today we're doing something that I haven't done before. This is the Japanese military. We've got Japan's elite paratroopers, 1st Airborne Brigade. This is by Times Archive, filmed back in 2021. The description's all in Japanese, so I can't really... Oh, actually, it says it in English underneath. The 1st Airborne Brigade, also known as Narashino Airborne Brigade, is stationed in Japan's Ground Self-Defense Force, JGSDF, Camp Narashino in Funabashi. Currently, they are attached to current Homeland Defense and International Combat Operations under the JGSDF's Ground Component Command. The 1st Airborne Brigade service as Japan's elite paratrooper unit meant to counter against either guerrillas or enemy special forces units. This is by Times Archive. I will leave a link down below to the original video, as I always do, if you don't want to watch it without me waffling over the top. Do I have to say anything else before we get started? The amount of love the Space Marine video got yesterday was fantastic. Don't forget to go down below so thank you a lot for that. Really nice to know that I can play games on this channel again. Don't forget to check out Morale down below, my new business that I'm starting. If you're into being outdoors in the wild, if you're into survival stuff, if you're into nature, all that good stuff, you're going to want to check it out. Morale down below. Other than that, let's shut up, let's pull this up, and let's see what they've got to say. It's Times Archive, and it's usually just footage, so I don't think there's going to be much talking over it, if anything at all. Why does it look like I'm really far down in here? Let me do that. Let's look at the gear, shall we? Let's have a look. Obviously not too dissimilar to everyone else's. I think the kids have pushed my chair down. Yep, they have. There we go. That's better. So they're going through the motions of what it would be like if they're jumping out of an aircraft here, aren't they? Yeah. Going through the motions. So here they are with the chutes, with the Bergens, all the gear. Doesn't show like any of the weapons or anything that they would have by the looks of it. I'm sure they would be strapped. That might be this here, actually. Yeah, this thing in this bag on their left shoulder. I'm presuming that's their weapon that's kind of like stowed away. It's all in Japanese, so I'm not going to be able to read it, unfortunately. So we're just going to give our best assumption about what's going on here. We can turn it down a little bit. Not too dissimilar to a lot of the stuff we see with military in general. Obviously, a lot of this information is traded between certain countries. The camouflage is very interesting. It almost reminds me of the old British DPM in a way, but like almost a bit like smaller. So they're all hooked on, doing the checks. Doors open. Oh, we got some US service. So they're doing it with the US. That might be why we've got this footage here on YouTube. They're doing it with the US. Very interesting. Trading that information, like I said, between allied countries. There it says something down here. The 1st Airborne Brigade, also known as the Narashino Airborne Brigade. Yeah, we already know that. Here they go, jumping out. Cool bit of footage. I wonder if it's going to show any of the weapons or anything, because I've literally never watched any Japanese stuff on this channel when it comes to their military, as far as I'm aware. Unless I did it years ago, but I don't remember. Here we go, doing the last bit again. They want him to go with the last man. There we go. Oh, they're going as well. Oh, interesting. All right, so we're back on the ground. They're obviously going to show a bit more of the kit here. I'm hoping they show some of the weapons as well. There was only the one... This is at the base. There was only the one USS, so that's definitely the weapon in there. Do we know what the Japanese standard issue rifle is? Let's have a Google real quick. Japan's standard issue rifle Type 89 was introduced to replace the Type 64. So it must still be the Type 89, which looks like a relatively old weapon. And he looks big as well. Let me... Oh, you'll be able to see that. There you go. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a relatively old weapon, though. Might have changed since then. Who knows? Looks like he's got a knife on this side as well. Did you see that? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. There's that knife. Oh, it's underneath my head. You see that knife there? Right here. Which is interesting. I want to show you something real quick. Hold on a second. Don't know if you guys spotted that. This badge up here looks very reminiscent of the Royal Marines Commando badge. Let me get that up for you right now. Let me find this for you real quick. They changed it. So this is what it used to look like. I will have that up so people can see. And now this is what it does look like now. Okay, so this is what it used to look like when I was in. Right, this is what I had on my shoulder. Now it looks like this. Let's make that a bit bigger. Do you see it up here? Just underneath where it says Times Archive. Hopefully you can see my mouse. Although the top part looks different to the bottom part. Almost makes it look more like a Army Commando one. It almost makes it more look like that, doesn't it? You see that? Very similar. But obviously this is a Japanese fella. Because look at the camouflage. Interesting. Good spot, though. It certainly looks like it, doesn't it? It makes me wonder if any of the others have got that on the front or whether he's traded it from somewhere. This looks like a bayonet that was on his side then because it had a little hoop for the barrel. And I don't see any of the other people wearing that same badge with the red lettering on the black background. Very interesting. It could be just a nameplate, and it could just be so happen to be the colors that they used for their nameplate, right? We don't know that. Also, obviously, the Royal Marines aren't the only ones that use badges that have red font on top of a black background, so I'm not saying it's definitely that. It's just interesting. It was an interesting spot. It's like my eyes went straight to it. US aircraft, as I'm sure you've already spotted by now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 there. 5th one at the back there looks a little bit different. So this is them loading on. Okay, we get through it a bit. I don't see anyone else with that same badge as that guy, which is interesting. This person on the left here looks like he's struggling a little bit. Do they all have the knife on the side? The bayonet? It looks like they all have the rifle on their left shoulder, at the back of their left shoulder. Yeah, there's the that's definitely the rifle. I'm not seeing that badge on anyone else, which is very interesting. I mean, it's not something to definitely be fixated on, but it is interesting. Off they go. I'm just looking at the gear as they kind of walk through and see if there's anything notably different by each one. We've got the US guy right here on the right. So they just must be using US pilots. It mustn't be them like actually training with US paratroopers. It must just be literally them using their aircraft. Jumping out. Let's go a little bit forward here. Oh, we got some writing here. The 1st Airborne Brigade serves as Japan's elite paratroop unit. That one's kicking. Look at him. He's kicking. He's trying to untangle his thing. Meant to counter against guerrilla. Yeah, we already know that. He's trying to untangle his chute. There we go. Good lad. The unit is being likened similar to Western Army Infantry Regiment and the Japanese Special Forces Group. Okay. Bergen gets lowered down. Since these units are some of Japan's only Special Forces unit with the offensive capability, as some of Japan's other Special Forces units are assigned to CT and other defensive duties. Their presence in Japan's ground self-defense force has served the organization as a morale booster. Getting that chute squared away. Yep, there's the rifle right there. What was it? Type 80... What did we say? 89? It is the Type 89 by the looks of it. Yep. What a lovely area. That is definitely a bayonet there. You can see the loop on that side of it there. Big bayonet, that, isn't it? Massive. It's not got much girth to it, but it's pretty long. You know what I mean? He's got his bayonet attached there. Do you see that? That guy had his bayonet attached to his rifle, which is interesting. There you go. Look at this. This is the base. Kit being laid out. Okay. He's like, oh my god, that's tight. That's tight. Around the manhood. Yeah, okay. Them loading up. I want to see the closer footage. Very similar there. I don't know if you can see his wings there. Very far away. It looks like he's got two sets of wings. The top one looks very much like the British one. And the bottom one looks very much like the US one, if you've noticed. Which is very interesting. All right, getting onto the aircraft. Oh, here we go. Let's have a look. Not seeing much difference in the gear. Definitely very standard to some extent. Obviously, it's jumping gear, so it is going to be standard. Okay, I'm just fast forwarding it a little bit because I want to... There's a US lad. Interesting. I wish I could read that to see what they were talking about. These guys like, yeah, sure, whatever, mate, just crack on. Got a GoPro on his head, this US lad. I think that's pretty much it. It's just them doing one. Yeah, there's not much footage apart from them just jumping out again. I do want to see more about their rifle. Good video, great bit of footage. Times Archive's really good for just like the raw footage without too much dialogue over the top. So I really appreciate that. It gives me a chance to talk and kind of just examine a bit more. Whereas there's a lot of other videos that when they're talking over, you miss certain things. And, you know, I'm not saying that them ones are bad because I do love a bit of information given to me. But it's also nice to do a bit of investigation skills, isn't it? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Are you from Japan? Have you served in the military? I would love to know your thoughts. I would love to know if you want me to watch more Japanese military. I want to know more about what the structure of their military looks like, what's going on with their special forces, what's going on with their standard issue rifle and equipment. All questions I have that I'd love to watch more videos about. So if you've got any suggestions, let me know down below. Other than that, if you want to watch the original video without me waffling over the top, it's down in the description below. Great video, as always, by the Times Archive. Check out Morale down in the description. Until next time, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.